Hello, I'm Stephen Lowe from BBC Radio Lancashire, and I'm asking if you can just to spare a moment to see if you can help East Lancashire Hospice, St Catherine's Hospice and the Lenny John Rose Trust. All three brilliant charities in Lancashire that would have been having some amazing outdoor events taking place, but of course all of those have had to be cancelled, leaving a massive hole in the finances of those fantastic Lancashire charities. If you can have a look on the websites, look at different ways to donate, really appreciate that. In the meantime, keep doing all you can protecting the NHS, staying at home. Well done everybody, top job. Keep it on, protect our NHS and stay safe everybody. Hopefully we'll see you on the flip side of all this. We get out and about again with Lancashire Outdoors. Right now though, crossover to Graham Reiner.
Oh shit, right. Hello. That took me a bit by surprise. I was thinking it was a bit later on than that. Hello. Thanks for that introduction, Steve. My name is apparently now Graham Rauner. News to me. I thought it was Graham Rayner, but apparently when you cross the Pennines into Lancashire from Yorkshire, it takes on a whole new meaning. But it's okay, because I can change it by deed poll. You know, it's not going to be a big deal. You know, and at least now, apparently I've got a stage name. So Graham Rauner it is. Not sure how you spell it. Maybe Steve can give me a clue on that. But thank you very much for that introduction, Steve, and welcome everyone to Lockdown Laughs. What is Lockdown Laughs? Well, I've been doing some gigs for the legendary fundraiser Mr. Tony Cartwright. He's legendary, certainly in his own household, for the amount of money he's raised for charity in the North West. I think over about a quarter of a century, he's raised something like £3 gajillion. And I've been doing some gigs for him in the North West, and we had quite a few lined up. And then lockdown hit, coronavirus decimated that, so those gigs have gone for now. Hopefully we'll reschedule them. But we thought we'd try and raise a few quid for some of the charities that are going to miss out. And I agreed, with no regrets whatsoever, now to put on a show online, a bit of a comedy showcase. So what we've got for you tonight is loads of my friends and colleagues from the comedy industry have put together some stuff that's been recorded specially for tonight, some stuff that's been recorded previously at gigs. A little secret for you, most comedians who gig on the lower levels of the circuit, the sort of the circuit where they're just breaking into it as a career or just starting to get regularly paid, will record their gigs on a mobile phone just for their own use later on as a bit of a revision tool. And now we've asked them to share those clips with us. So what you're probably going to learn is why when they do Live at the Apollo, they use a proper TV crew and not just your mate Dave with a camera on his phone sat in the corner of a dusty pub, because the quality, the image quality, the sound quality might just be a little bit poorer than you're used to. But please bear with us on that, and just bear in mind that this has been cobbled together as best we can in difficult and trying times. So tonight we are raising funds for three really good causes. We've got the East Lancs Hospice, St Catherine's Hospice and the Len John Rose Trust, who raise funds for motor neurone disease, and is the trust set up by the former footballer Len John Rose, who played for most of the clubs in the North West at some point in his career and has sadly been stricken by motor neurone disease. I had the pleasure of meeting him a few months ago. He's a lovely guy, and he's raising funds as best he can to help research into motor neurone disease. But don't worry if you can't afford to donate, because we know times are hard. Best thing we want to do is just make people have a bit of a giggle on a Friday night when you might normally be out and about. So don't worry if you can't dig deep, but if you can, there'll be details of how to donate throughout the night. It's only about an hour-long show, so don't worry, we're not going to bombard you too much. Anyway, tell you a bit more about myself, Graham Rauner, as I'm now called. I am a part-time stand-up comic, and I'm also a father and a husband. I've got two kids, 9 and 11. I best just explain for those of you who don't really know me, that's not what I call them. That'd be weird, wouldn't it? It'd also be probably quite bad taste to name my kids after such a horrific event in which so many people died. No, but I do love Fred and Rose. They are fantastic kids, but I have got to tell you that they've really ruined what little sex life I had left when they came along, which means that at the age of 42 I do find myself masturbating more than at any point since I was about 14, and usually it's it's in the shower. which, you know, might make this video a bit more awkward, but never mind. You know, it's tricky, but also that's why I recently got banned from B&Q and Wix, and back in January during my attempted health kick, the gym. Turns out it's not such a pure gym when I've been in there. Ooh. Anyway, just I'm going to crack on, or maybe crack off, and I'll be back with you in a bit. But while you're waiting for me to take care of business, just enjoy this. We've got, you may have seen recently on Britain's Got Talent, the hilariously funny Steve Royal, who's a really good comedian from Chorley in the Northwest. He's a bit of a legend up there, and he went on to Britain's Got Talent and absolutely smashed it. He's brilliantly funny, and he's very kindly recorded a full set for us tonight, 10 minutes, which I'm going to play uninterrupted, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. He talks about the lockdown, he does a few other of his classic bits of his set, so enjoy that, and I'm just going to, well, you know.
Hey! Come on! Let's keep the spirits up during lockdown! Bit of clapping. Come on, let me see you clapping. Look at this. Look at that! It's my summer house! Not a shed, Scott Bennett. Not a shed. A summer house. Some comedians have a second home. Wow, what I've got to experience during this crisis. Look at that. A lady, sexy jumping. Look at that. Oh yeah. Look at the thrust. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, stop. Hang on. Stop the music. Sorry, I forgot. There used to be two of us. Still got it, even though we're in a lockdown. Are you enjoying yourselves? Isn't it fun? I'll tell you the problem I've got with this lockdown so far. And first of all, can I just say, we should have done this at 10 to 8. I'll tell you why, on a Thursday night. If we'd done this at 10 to 8 on a Thursday night, as soon as I finished my set, I could step outside and imagine that all that applause for the NHS was just for me. Lap it up. It's been a while since we've got some applause. It's been a while since I've worn this shirt. You know what? I can still smell the last gig I did on it. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, one day we will rise again, fellow comics. We will rise again. Have you been doing the Joe Wicks, by the way? Have you? Yeah, I have. I've had to do the bit of the homeschooling stuff. It's not easy. The Joe Wicks is the hardest part of the day for me. Getting up. The problem I have with the whole Joe Wicks thing, if you've done it, you'll know exactly what I mean. It's exhausting. Half an hour of intensive exercise. It makes your muscles ache and it makes you out of breath. Now, those are two of the key symptoms of COVID-19. Think about that. A lot of people are self-diagnosing themselves with COVID-19, isolating for 14 days, when in actual fact, all they've done is the Joe Wicks diet. Just saying. Have you been panic? Have you been doing panic buying? Did you enjoy your little time panic buying? That were fun, wasn't it? Hey, what was the point of all that? Pasta. I can understand, actually. I'll be honest with you. I can understand people panic buying the pasta. That's all right. Italy. Going to have problems in Italy. We may have problems with Italian imports as a result. I can understand people panic buying the pasta. But bog roll? All I'm saying is government advice is simple. 2 metres apart. Social distancing. Keep 2 metres at least away from the next person. I'll tell you what will guarantee that. Don't wipe your arse for a couple of weeks. There you go. Top tip from me. Don't bother panic buying bog roll. Don't wipe. I went to school with a lad called Tony. Tony, right? I won't give his surname, but to be honest, we used to call him Clint anyway. That was his nickname. And the reason we called him Clint is because he used to walk like a cowboy. Like that. Because basically, he pooed in his pants most days. All I'm saying is we didn't go near him for 6 years at school. If you don't wipe, no one will go within 2 metres. I can guarantee it. I'll tell you a funny story as well. We've been doing some crazy things, haven't we, eh? Have you been doing some crazy things? Yeah, I started baking again. I haven't baked for years. Loads of things I haven't done for years. Tidying drawers, tidying cupboards. I cleaned out the garage. Because of this. Look on the positive. I talked to my wife. I haven't done that for years either. I'll tell you a funny story about the wife, right? We went on a walk during our 15 minutes of
intensive exercise that we do each day here in my neighbourhood in the surrounding area of Chorley, Lancashire. And we went out for a walk, and she'd read, and we'd seen on the news about how COVID-19 can get, transmitted, especially on metal objects. It stays there longer, apparently, up to 2 days, apparently, on metal objects. So she's paranoid about this. And we're out on our walk, and she did the classic where she found a penny, and she went, oh, look, find a penny, pick it up, all day long. Oh, no, it might have the virus. Chucked it out. It's made of metal. Because it was made of metal, lost a penny there. And these, I'll tell you, every penny counts in this game at the moment, because we're getting now, us comedians, absolutely nothing. Tough times, tough times. I'll tell you the other problem I have with this social distancing. Social distancing for me is a huge dilemma, because, and I'm going to get close to the camera so you can just get, I need something to put it into perspective. I know, here's a CD, there's my head. I have a very small head. Can we all agree that, yeah? Very small. The problem that is in social distancing terms is when people think they're 2 metres away from me, they're actually a lot closer. I'm just saying, it's not easy for us tiny-headed people. You big-headed folk, oh, you're fine with your social distancing. Not me. You know who leads the way in social distancing? I'll tell you, it's that bloke who lives in the middle of the M62 in that farmhouse. He's been social distancing himself. If you don't know who I mean, you're tuning in from abroad or you're tuning in from elsewhere in the country and you've never been on the M62 motorway between Lancashire and Yorkshire, just on the border there, around Huddersfield area, there's a farmhouse, and he is quite literally in the middle of the motorway, and I mean in the middle. He's got the eastbound going that way, westbound going that. All I can assume is he came back from some council meeting about 60 years ago when they were planning that motorway, went up to his wife and went, can you believe it, love? Offered us 4 million for the farm. But I don't know the exact figure, but I can guarantee this. I can guarantee the wife, she'd have been going, oh, £4 million? Oh, 4 million? Oh, what did you say? What did you say? I said, you'll build it through me, around me first. You dick. You dick. And what a strain. Listen, I think we're all finding that out during this crisis. What a strain it can be in intense, tight spaces with your other half. That's going to put some pressure on any relationship. But living in the middle of the M62 all them years, she must have... I bet many a time she's been out of a seat like that going, I'm up to here with it. I'm up to here with it. I'm leaving you. It's all right, I'll stay. We'll work it out. We'll work it out together. But the funniest thing is a sheep farmer. I don't know if you know that. He is genuinely a shepherd living in the middle of the M62. If you want a proper laugh, never mind tuning in to these comedy podcasts that are popping up. What you want to do is get up there onto the M62, watch him bring the sheep in. It's brilliant. It's a joy to watch. He's all kitted out. He's got the crook, he's got the sheepdog and everything, all the gear on. He's like that. Fetch him round, like. Fetch him round. Fetch him round. Come mate, lad. Come mate. Lay down. Whip. Whip. This goes on a bit. You want to go and get yourselves a brew? I'm only joking. I don't know what that was that went past then. A lion, middle of the M62. Circus, Leeds, there you go. You got to feel sorry for the sheep. I feel for the sheep. They're like that with the little paws on. Not paws, what do they have? Paws. Hooves. Paws. Sheep like that with the little hooves on the hard shoulder going, please don't make me cross over. Please don't. I don't even like that grass. I'm happy with this grass. Please don't make me go. Please don't make me go. Yeah, obviously that's just one sheep. All the other sheep are behind him going, we'll do whatever he does, to be honest. Are we sticking with sheep rules? Keith, if he goes, are we all going? Keith, I'm a sheep, doesn't matter. I like to think that bloke's got kids as well. And all day long they're like that going, Dad, can we play out? Can we play out? He's going, yeah, but stay on the hard shoulder. No messing around at fast lane like last time. Anyway, I've had a few requests for this during the lockdown. And I'm going to leave you with it. The Steve Royal classic balloon modelling routine. I learnt this years ago. At Pantomime. I do Panto every year. Hopefully, still be doing it this year. The Grand Theatre. Last 18 years. I'll tell you a quick story. The opening night last year, I got to the bit of the end. You know the end of a Panto where you get the kids up on stage? It's called the song sheet. Well, I get the kids, it's always the best bit because you never know what the kids are going to say. This little lad said to me last year, I got him up, I said, what's your name? He said, my name's Billy, I'm Billy. I said, how old are you, Billy? I'm 9 years old. I said, what are you getting for Christmas? Get a remote controlled submarine. I said, you what? He went, remote controlled submarine. I thought he was taking the mickey, I ignored him. But then I looked on the internet and I found out you can actually buy them. Can you believe it? You can actually buy remote control submarines. But when I found that out, I couldn't help thinking about that poor kid on Boxing Day, stood outside some pond near Blackpool just going, with all the other Model Boat Club members going, what have you got there then, lad? It's a submarine. Where is it? It's there somewhere. His dad going mad going, I told you not to press dive, Billy. I told you not to press dive. Go on, let's go. Have some bubble and squeak. It's Boxing Day. So here we go. To finish, the classic balloon modelling routine. No, forget it. I just mouth. I don't. Huh? What? Look at that. Cracking toast grommet. Watch now. Watch and be amazed. I have to step right back here. Here we go. Yep. I've just realised how low it is in here. We'll give it a go anyway. Here we go. Give me a drum roll. Wherever you are. On your hands and knees. Drum roll. Here we go. Oh, yeah. One more time. Oh. Ta-da! And finally, to finish, natural talent. Look at that. Oh, sorry. Listen, all the very best. Stay safe, stay inside. Most of all, try and stay sane.
Sorry about that. I'll work on my timing. I'm sorry about that. So thank you to Steve Royal for that. Fantastic. Really good effort. And thank you so much for taking time out of your busy, well, I would say busy schedule, but no comedian's got anything on at the moment, including me. What we're going to do now is we're going to go through some of the clips we've got from our different comedians. And a lot of these clips are a bit shorter, so rather than introduce into each individual one, so you have to see me every 2 minutes, the names will pop up at the bottom of the screen, and we'll go through that. In the first little section, some stuff that's been recorded specifically for tonight. Comedians at home talking about the impact of lockdown on them, stuff they've written for tonight. So bear in mind, this is stuff that they've probably never said in front of an audience before, and let's see how they get on, and just enjoy these clips while I go and sort myself out. Not like I did earlier, not for about another half an hour or so, maybe after the show, but yeah, I'll go and get dressed and stuff, and just enjoy these clips. Cheers.
I'm making this recording on behalf of legendary fundraiser Tony Cartwright. He's raised loads of money for St Catherine's East Lancashire Hospice and the Len John Rose Trust. He's had a number of gigs lined up and events which have obviously had to be cancelled, but despite that there are people that still need looking after. So if you are able to give anything at all, that would be massively appreciated. Obviously coronavirus has turned our world upside down. We've had panic buying, although to be honest I've always panicked whenever I've had to buy anything, but that's probably just because I'm from Lancashire. Social distancing, again that's something I've been doing for quite a while, probably more anti-social distancing. It also turns out that drinking cow urine doesn't prevent coronavirus. I wish someone had told me that a week ago. Yeah, yesterday we had a Tesco delivery. There were 13 substitutions. It was like an international friendly. It's a football joke for you there. And people keep saying to me, they can't wait till this is all over so we can get together and have a chat. To be honest, I'm not really into having a chat. And anyway, what is there going to be to chat about? So what have you been up to lately? Nothing. Just done a few jigsaws, some colouring and stared out of the window. It's like I'm practising for when I'm 80. And anyway, since when did going for a walk become a major form of exercise? It's like people are obsessed with it now. Have you done your 10,000 steps? No, I haven't, because I've got a car. And if I had to go anywhere that was going to use 10,000 steps, I'd drive. Do I look like one of the proclaimers? Anyway, thanks very much. Please support and help if you can. Stay in and stay safe. Cheers now.
Oh my god, look how bad that tan is. Hello everyone, hi, sorry. My name is Ash Preston and I've been asked to represent and do some jokes in aid of the St Catherine's East Lancashire Hospice. So, here we go. It's very weird not having an audience around doing this. So basically, obviously, I'm filming this video on Easter Sunday, which, as we know, way back on this day in AD 33, Jesus Christ, who was an apprentice for a carpenter, was deemed fit to work by the Department of Work and Pensions. It's also Easter Sunday, as I said, and it's a bit gutting for me because this is the first Easter Sunday I've had to do in lockdown, and it means I've missed my annual thing that I do every Easter Sunday, which is turn up outside of various churches going, surprise! I've been thinking about a lot of things while I have been in isolation, though. One thing I was thinking of was, as much as I love the band Wham, I've always felt that Club Tropicana operated under a very poor business model. And I've not dated, obviously, since I've been in lockdown. I wasn't dating before anyway, but, you know, I tried doing one of those lockdown date nights after going on one of those dating apps, you know, having like a virtual date night. It went like most of them went. Basically, I turned up. They didn't. The barman, my flatmate, asked me if I was okay. I said I was fine. I drank a lot and I went to bed. And what else did I think? Right here. Yeah, other things about being single. Yeah, well, it's at the point now where I think my Tinder maximum distance setting is actually almost getting too beyond the pale. And, well, you know, it's like I've been single now for so long that my version of Netflix and chill is called Babe Station and Regret. And, oh, you know what? I'll finish on this one. Hopefully, we will all do well. And I hope you're all doing great. But, you know, when this is all over, either we're all going to be able to go out again, or we're going to be rewatching Chernobyl in a few months, throwing tuna cans at the screen, screaming, luxury! Anyway, I don't know what to actually say here at the end. So what you need to do is donate. And I hope this, in a way, adds a little something and provides some humour to you. Because I am in this little room, and hopefully one day I will get out. Thank you very much. I've been Ash Preston. Stay alive. Have a good one.
Oh, God, I look rough. Oh, hi guys. My name's Ola, and I have been asked by the lovely Tony to do a small comedy video for you to raise money for the Lancashire Hospice, St Catherine's, and for the Len John Rose Trust, which is an amazing cause, so get donating. As you know, we're in isolation at the moment, which is not so bad, but I'm trying to watch TV in peace, but I can't watch TV with my mum around. My mum comes from Sudan, but not anywhere in Sudan. She comes from a small village that had no electricity until 2004, so she didn't really have the advantages of having a TV. So when she came to the UK and she saw TV, she didn't really grasp the concept of make-believe, sci-fi. She took everything so literally. So me and my brothers, we sat there watching TV, and then my mum walks in, and she was like, disgusting. Why are you watching pedophiles on TV? Look at him, old man, amongst all those children. Has he no shame? Look at him, wearing those long dirty clothes, holding a stick. Does he think we're gonna feel sorry for him because he has a walking stick? I looked at my mum and I was like, that's Gandalf. Gandalf? Is that what they call paedophiles nowadays? And then she just goes off on a rant about paedophilia on TV, and she didn't let me get a word in edgeways. And then I snapped. I was like, Mum, stop it. That's Gandalf, and they're hobbits, not children. Just watch and see for yourself. She wasn't listening, and at that point, it was when Frodo walks into the hobbit hole and finds out they had a magic ring, and all you heard was, "Take it, Gandalf! Take my ring!" And Gandalf goes, "Don't tempt me, Frodo. As much as I want your ring, I can't." I look over at my mum, and she's shaking her head. Filthy, dirty Gandalfs.
So thanks there to all those guys for recording those videos for us, especially for tonight. Now, I've got a special treat for you now. Not all of the acts you're going to see tonight are stand-up comedians. In fact, just one isn't a stand-up comedian. He's more of a force of nature. And he's put together just a short video to explain to us all the importance of keeping a routine throughout your day. I introduced to you for the first time the world premiere of a performance by Dave He Is. Enjoy.
Tumble out of bed and stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of sandwich, try to come to life. Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping. Out on the street the traffic starts jumping, with folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Working 9 to...
Hi everyone, I hope you're all safe and well and staying at home. I just wanted to put a little quick message out for East Lancashire Hospice. They're an amazing local charity which I've supported in the past. They would have lots of outdoor fundraisers and events planned. I was meant to be playing in a football game myself in May, which is now being cancelled due to obviously the pandemic. It was just to really ask for a little bit of help and support with donations, which I'll be doing myself in this time to help them get through it. Amazing charity. They've helped so many families over obviously Lancashire. So if you could afford anything, it'd be massively appreciated. And again, I hope everyone stays at home and is safe and well, and we'll get out the other end of this hopefully sooner rather than later.
I'll tell you, banana bread is the latest craze. We're all learning new skills, aren't we, during lockdown? But what I would say is 40 odd days locked up with the family. It's a trying time for everyone, I think, and certainly 41, 42 days now on lockdown with my pubescent daughter Rose. It's given me a newfound respect really for Joseph Fritzl, and just thinking about what he really put himself through. I think it's sometimes people forget that when they think about that story. But anyway, here's what some of our other acts think about family.
My dad hates my tattoos, but he's a heavy sleeper and I needed someone to practice on. My youngest sister is sadly completely glued to her phone, a prank which I still find hilarious. 3 years later, I've just proposed recently to my girlfriend in Greece, which has made my girlfriend here in the UK absolutely livid.
Will address the shirt. I wear the shirt for 2 reasons. 1, I fucking like it. 2, if this ever goes tits up, are you going to remember me for the shirt? Yes, I am aware it looks like Neil Buchanan's spunk. For those of you who don't know, he presented a show called Art Attack back in the 90s. That joke might make sense now. Fun fact about Neil Buchanan, He likes to get naked for his wife, stand at the foot of the bed, paint little pictures on his body, and goes, "This is an heart attack. This is an heart attack. This is heart attack." Then he fucks her to the theme tune. Sometimes he lets the talking head watch. And if he's struggling in foreplay, his wife will say, "If you're struggling with this part, you might want to get your parents involved." And there's them days when he's just beat from a day on set at heart attack and he can't muster the strength to pleasure his wife. So he just chucks her a dildo made from a fairy liquid bottle and says, "There's one I made earlier." Now there's probably some of you out there wondering, what does a dildo made from a fairy liquid bottle look like? Well, here's one I made earlier. There it is. Take it in. You'll agree, it's pretty realistic. And like all great heart attacks, I've covered it in glitter. Now, the way I did the balls was, I coated him in PVA, I got a ball of glitter on the floor, and I just teabagged him. There's a new feature I've added. Some of you can see what's coming. But if you just squeeze it right in its sweet spot. Sorry, it's a bit premature. You might not be able to see, but this is a vintage fairy liquid bottle. I did this spit in Bradford one time, and a woman went, "You can't buy them anymore." And I went, "Yeah, you fucking can. That's why I've got it." And when I had a chat with her after, she thought I'd been hoarding this bottle since the 90s, when I was like 8. Like, imagine that conversation I would have with my mum. "Mum, you know when you're done with that fairy liquid bottle? Can I have it, please?" And my mum would go, "What, for a rocket like the adverts?" And I'd go, "No, but I might want to do stand-up at 27. And I might just need a dildo made from a fairy liquid bottle." Being from Bradford, she thought that was an acceptable answer. You might see that I brought in a box. The reason is because I used to get the bus to a load of gigs and carry it in a carrier bag. And I tripped one time and the cum shot part hit a woman in the face. So I carry it in a secure box now. The other thing, I get asked, why do you use a fairy liquid bottle and not a cheaper brand? That's easy. Fairy lasts longer.
Thank you, good time, well done. It's brilliant to be here. You enjoy yourselves? Yes. Are we drinking? Yes. Lovely, jubbly. My name is Big D Archer, capital D, as you can tell. And it was basically Big D was a nickname given to me by my mum and all my ex-lovers. Hi. What does the D stand for? I hear you say. Disappointment. Disappointment. If only I had a bigger dick, then my mum would be proud of me. That's what I say. I love my mum, I love my mum. She comes from the land down under. Not Australia, hell. I got all my best qualities from my mum. I'm not talking about the facial hair. Or the diabetes. I'm talking about these bad boys here. 36 double D's of pleasure, my Grant and Phils. Sorry for the eye contact then. Right, you enjoying yourself? My mum the other week, she bought me a bra, which I was quite impressed because it's the only support she's ever given me. Thank you. I'm wearing this bra. I'm not wearing it now, obviously, honestly. But I was wearing this bra and I'm thinking, Mum, all I need is some sexy lingerie to pull this look off. You know what she said? She said, "Don't worry, son, I'm sure your dad will lend you a pair of his." I always wondered what my dad wore with such confidence.
Mixed feelings about it. I don't. I think he's right. If you listen to that guy's life story, all the rumours and speculation about him, his life story reads like the front page of one of those women's magazines, you know, the depressing slice of life ones that come out every week to keep you happy, like Bella and Chat and Love It, all that shit. It's just like the most miserable headlines in the world. Prince Harry to be something like, I came back from the army to find out that my dad isn't my dad. Me nan killed me mum. And when I married a black woman, my family decided they liked the paedophile uncle better. Oh, can you imagine? He's got a baby to look after as well now. Can you imagine what his life is like day to day in that house? Getting up in the morning like, Nan! They're very scouse, the royals. They don't. They put the phone voice on when they're out among us. But they'll be like, Nan! We look after the baby for us. I've got to go to work today. And the Queen will be like, no lad, I can't. I'm going to get my hair set today. We've sorted out a babysitter for you. Oh, Nan, you're a diamond. Oh, don't worry about it, lad. Andrew said there'd be no sweat. And he'd be like, what? Don't worry. Grandad's going to drive him over.
My nan and granddad, they've been together a long time. They're completely inseparable. A prank which I still find hilarious. 3 years later.
Afternoon everyone, how are you? Colin Hendry here. Just like to say that 3 charities at this minute in time, very close to my heart, and a lot of the people in Lancashire. East Lancs Hospice, St Catherine's Hospice, and the Leonard John Rose Trust. With everything that's going on at the minute, are in dire need of a little bit of support and a little bit of help. So if you guys can, via the website, donate, it would be greatly appreciated. It really, really would. And for everyone that's supporting the NHS at this minute in time as well, fantastic. And if everyone can stay safe, stay indoors, and the quicker we all adhere to the instructions the government's giving out there, you know, hopefully quicker we'll get back to some normality. But support these charities if you can, guys. Thank you.
Oh, well, good afternoon. Is it afternoon when you're watching this? I don't know. But I'm Nick Miller. I've been asked to do a little slot by Tony Cartwright. It's for St Catherine's East Lancashire Hospice. And it's a great cause, so I don't mind doing a couple of songs. And Tony's asked me to play this song. I've not played this song for many, many years. So hopefully I'll be able to remember it. But it's been a pleasure to do it, and sing along with the chorus. I'm sure you'll recognise this. And thanks for listening. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of the love. Walk on through the way. And blow. hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone.
See you next week. See you next week. I have to say, oh, fuck it, start again. Yep, see you next week. Yep, take care. Stay safe. One of the things I've most enjoyed about the weekly routine with this coronavirus lockdown is 8 o'clock on a Thursday night. We all come out and clap for the NHS, show we really care. I don't know people that work in the NHS who really value that, because it just gives them a little boost. One of the things I like to do, though, as well as rattling my pots and pans and getting big party streamers out, is have a good long look at each of my neighbours, from a distance, obviously, and have a look, and I just try and work out which of them I think probably voted Tory at the last election, and just ask myself, do they know that the last time Boris Johnson applauded the NHS, it was when he denied him a pay rise? It's just one of those things that just, passes the time a little bit. I do think, though, it's really important that we look after the most vulnerable at the moment, particularly the disabled. So why don't we hear from a few of my mates in the comedy industry about the living with disability these days.
Now, if you were paying any attention during the 20 odd minutes that you were clapping us up at, you might have noticed that I walk a little like someone who's been dry bummed by Bigfoot. I can confirm this limp has no take a break, let have a wee backstory to it. And just what the NHS calls a bad disabled, or this loving government calls fit to work. They really are cunts. But yeah, I suppose if there's a silver lining to my disability cloud, probably the fact that I've spent about as long on the sick now as Maddie spent on Portuguese lantern. Health and safety for anyone that didn't enjoy it as much as that. What you you probably need to bear in mind about my set is that it's quite a lot like Michael Jackson in that it starts off pretty dark. Boy, it does get lighter. And it only occasionally fucks kids.
I was completely blind for a year. Oh, I love that. I was completely blind for a year. And I moved back with my parents. The doctors didn't know if I would see again. It was a really tough time, really tough time. And my old mates would come and visit me and, you know, keep me abreast of what was going on. It was, you know, great for them to come around and talk to me. And my mate Drew came round. Drew's a great friend. He's my best friend now. Great guy. He's really nice. He's really tall. He's 6'5". He can like reach stuff. And he always lends me money. He's a terrific friend. And he wanted to cheer me up. Oh, best way I can describe Drew actually. Best way I can describe Drew is he likes to play a game called cock or ball. Somebody knows how to play it down there. Cock or ball basically is when a lad basically undoes his zipper and shows a bit of his cock or his ball, and you have to guess which it is. Okay. Don't shoot the messenger, by the way, so you know it's his game. However, Drew, because he's such a nice guy, he came up with his own version of the game for me because I couldn't see. He used to scratch his cock or his ball and then make you sniff his fingers to guess which one. Sweet! Oh, God. If you see him tonight, you run, okay? You just run. We're coming at you like that. No, Drew. And I was really good at it. I got it right every time. The other senses do get stronger. Evidently.
There's a lady in my life. I'm getting a lot of mixed signals off her. That's what this is about. This girl I met the other day, she really takes my blues away. Beautiful. I like you, that's what she did say. But I still can't tell if she feels the same way. I don't know what to do. Who's she talking to? She's got a lazy eye. She's got a lazy eye. She's making me crazy, please be my baby, making me want to sing. But I cannot accurately determine where she's focusing. If she liked me too, then it'd mean everything. But if I respond and she didn't mean me, then it would really sting. With my heart, she's committed theft. But is she talking to me or the guy to my left? She's got a lazy She's got a lazy Oh, I'd take her to the Statue of Liberty on our first date, but she'd be looking over at the Empire State. Go to Buckingham Palace, her and I, but she'd be looking over at the London. She's got a lazy loser. Sing along if you know the words, guys. She's got a lazy. Big finish, everybody. Here we go. She's got a lazy. Thank you.
Hello, Howard Walker here. I was lined up to do a couple of comedy shows for St Catherine's Hospice towards the back end of the year. Obviously I'm not too sure if these are going ahead now, which is a bit of a shame. It's all a little bit different at the minute. But I understand that there's been a compilation video put together of some of the acts that we're going to be on. So here I am, stood in my back garden. That's a field next to it, it's not my back garden. Bats are flying around, I don't know if you can see them, but don't eat them. So as I say, I just thought I'd join in with the video, send a little clip in. Hopefully this thing is gonna raise a few money for St Catherine's, where the gig's not going ahead. And I just thought I'd tell you that you know, these little walks that you're allowed to do now. I went out for my hour's exercise today. I had a pot around, 5 minutes really. I slept for 55 minutes in the street, but no one's to know. But I walked past my neighbour just down the road, and it's a while since I've seen him, and he looked a little bit upset here in his garden. And I just went, "Are you okay?" He said, "I'm just thinking about my ex, Howard." He says, "Miss her terribly. A couple of years since she passed away now. She was incredibly hot and very, very bubbly. I do miss her." I said, "Do you mind me asking how she died?" And he went, "Yeah. She fell into an industrial deep fat fryer." You're probably pleased I'm not coming to one of these live gigs now, but anyway, sorry about that. Here endeth the jokes. I hope this video raises a few quid, like I say. All the best. I hope you're all staying safe, and I hope to see you all soon. Cheers. Bye.
So I'm just out on my state-sanctioned Boris walk, enjoying the sounds of nature and the sights of nature. It's fantastic around here. Look at this. This is all just moments away from my doorstep. Just out for a walk with the family. Can't get rid of them. Just enjoying really the fresh air, even though it's a bit of a grey day in Dewsbury here. Dewsbury, of course, home of 2008 Celebrity Mum of the Year, Karen Matthews. It's surprising really. One of the best things about this lockdown has been the fact that you feel like you have to get out once a day and just enjoy the local area. It's fantastic, and I found for my mental health it's been a boost to just enjoy the peace and the quiet and the Get back! Are you stupid? 2 meters! Have you seen the news? Moron! Lockdown, you won't bloody lock it up! Anyway, right, what was I saying? Yeah, peace and quiet. It's fantastic, really. I really enjoy it. And I think one of the things we're all missing most is travel. So here's what some of my mates in the industry have got to say about travel.
I went to Australia a few months ago, and I went to a zoo called Taronga. That sounds really Aussie, doesn't it? Taronga Zoo, right? And me and my friends are stupid, so we play Would You Rather quite a lot, which if you haven't played, you can go home and have hours of fun. And the game is that you'd say, would you rather this or would you rather that? And my friend said, would you rather, we were stood at the chimpanzee enclosure, and he was like, would you rather finger a chimpanzee's bum hole or have it finger your bum hole? It's like, it's a really tough question, because if I did it, I would never eat pizza again, or cake, or like, you know, maybe even get married, because I could never look at, you know, I could never look at it again. So I was like, I wouldn't do it. And then I heard a voice, I heard a really high-pitched voice go, Mom! Mom! Forgot that kids are in zoos. And I was like, oh no. And the kid said, Mom, this lady's gonna finger a chimpanzee's bum hole. And I was like, this Aussie woman was like storming towards me, and I was like, oh no, this is how it ends. And she went, excuse me, what is your problem? Like, what is wrong with you? And I said to her, I'm really sorry. You've got the wrong end of the stick. I said that I would let the chimpanzee finger my not an animal.
As I was coming to the gate before, I saw a woman walking down the street. She was walking towards a twitchy looking guy in a trench coat. I ran over to her. I said, excuse me, love, you keep going that way, I think that guy's going to flash you. She said, Willie. I said you'll probably see bollocks as well. I had a tough time getting to the gig tonight because I was driving and I broke down, which is weird because I don't normally cry.
There's a few sex shops cropping up these days on the A1. Is it just me? Yeah, I've been doing a bit of travelling about recently, and I was like, since when have these cropped up? But the thing is, the positioning of them is great, because they're next to petrol stations, so you could go in, fill your car up, go grab
That
some
boyfriend,
beads.
full of surprises. Like changing the keyboard on my iPhone. So when I type his name, Steve, it comes out with, "My Lord and Master, I'm so grateful for his existence." Hilarious. He did, however, excel himself with my name. So when I signed off texts and emails, instead of saying Kerry, it said Sad Cave. Sad Cave, I hear you all ask. Well, that is his affectionate name for my vagina. I think he calls it Sad Cave because it's massive, damp, and men have occasionally had to be rescued around it. Hi, Mum and Dad. I did actually find out that there is a real sad cave in Okinawa, Japan. It's really popular with tourists. It gets loads and loads of visitors. Is that why he calls it Sad Cave? The cheeky bastard! Right, that's it. I'm going to call his dick Theresa May from now on. Because like her, it's neither strong nor stable. I guess I could open up my Sad Cave as a tourist attraction. If it all goes tits up after Brexit. You can just imagine the TripAdvisor reviews. Has an odd smell. Felt all grubby when I slipped and touched its walls. Has a very untidy entrance.
So I'm Rabia Kun. Rabia, my first name is pretty unique. It's Arabic. I didn't have clever parents. I'm half Lebanese, so that was the name my mom could say that my dad wanted. And then, my last name, Kun. It's spelled C-O-O-N, so it's the bad spelling of Kun, really. So it is a unique name. It's both ethnic and racist. I'm not. I'm only one of those. Luckily. I wasn't born a coon either, if you didn't guess. That's the worst. That's like the most racist thing too, don't worry. I actually... I had a completely ethnic first and last name for most of my life until I took my stepdad's last name, and I get into that in therapy. I don't get into that up here. So that made for interesting times with the TSA. I would get stopped a lot and they'd look kind of confused, like, oh, okay, that's Rabia. Fine, we need to search you. And the first time anyone got to second base with me, it was the TSA agent, so I kind of liked them. They were just kind of making sure I didn't have anything weird. And it was the first time anyone had, just touched me in a certain way. So I always just, when I land at LaGuardia, I'm fond of that place.
I got this email when it turned out my holiday was gone. Britain was feeling like a fridge and I just wanted sun. I booked a flight to Portugal flying with Ryanair, but then planes were grounded. Ryanair, refunded. Ryanair. The First email said that I was entitled to cash. I made my claim and then left it. That was that. Then 2 emails said my refund was delayed, but it would be paid. Ryanair, refunded. Ryanair. You said I'd get my cash, you sought to reassure, but instead you sent me a damn voucher. You lied to me, your promise ditched, I want my money back, your voucher can shove it. Refunded. Refunded. Your website mentioned at the bottom if I want a coin, I could still register my wish, but there was a long line to join. So I went to claim again, I filled out a complex form, but you kept me withdrawn. Ryanair, refunded. Ryanair, Ryanair, refunded. Ryanair. I know your planes are all sat on the ground, but you've nicked mine and others' hard-earned pounds through hoops you've made us all leap, yet still ironically you've kept us all beached. Refunded. 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 Ryanair, refunded. Ryanair, refunded.
Good evening. My name is President Obonjo of Laughter Republic. I am a self-proclaimed leader, an African dictator, now living in the United Kingdom. I am a popular president. I follow the will of my people, the IMF, and the World Bank. People ask me, what are my political leanings? Am I on the left, or the right, or at the center? Hitler had a little blue book. Mayo had a little red book. President Obonjo has a little funny black book. And if you've got crayons, you can mark the dots to find out which country I'm going to massacre next. Let me tell you about Laughter Republic. Laughter Republic consists of 3 tribes. The Okorodudu tribe, which means goodness, the Kamutu tribe, which means gracious, and the Kaputu tribe, which means great balls of fire. And I come from the Great Balls of Fire tribe. The state capital of Laughter Republic is called Baghdad. We have several states: Islamabad, Banter Town, Chocolate Town, Giggle Town, Reflex Town, Banter Town, and so on and so forth. You know they don't take me seriously as a comedian in the United Kingdom. The other day I went to Scotland, outside London, performing to 350 people, and this woman came to me and asked me if I was from uniformdating.com. I never knew there was a website called uniformdating.com, so I registered. African dictator looking for another wife. This message is really for struggling charities and for people who support charities. Do your best to donate and contribute so that these charities can survive during the corona crisis. Thank you very much. My name is President Obonjo of Laughter Republic, and you can find me on Twitter, Facebook. If you don't, my people will find you. Thank you.
Hiya, I've just got back from a late night run to Tesco's for the essentials. Now, normally, one of the things that I would enjoy on the way back from a supermarket shop is car food. Sometimes even a sneaky trip to McDonald's. Now, I do miss McDonald's, but I tell you, one thing I don't miss is I miss the milkshakes, but I don't miss those bloody paper straws. Have you tried having a milkshake from McDonald's lately with those paper straws? So it's virtually impossible. In fact, it's one of my sort of bugbears at the moment, and I was telling my wife about them, and she said, "You stop going on about those bloody paper straws. They're just as bad as you are. They remind me of you." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Well, you've got to use them quickly. They never really last long enough to get the job done, and I really prefer the plastic alternative." I'm still trying to work out what she meant. Anyway, while I ponder that, why don't you enjoy some of my mates talking about their experiences of shopping and life out and about doing stuff that we're not allowed to really do anymore?
Cheers.
No, but I think it's nice to escape the horrible real world, because it is horrible. Just got to be nicer to each other. Little things. Like last week, I held the door open for some woman. I was like, after you. After you. After you. After you. Did she say thanks? Did she fuck? Just slammed the toilet cubicle in my face.
After I left uni, I volunteered in a communist charity shop. It was fine at first. All items are £1. But then the Stalinist faction took over. All items are £1, but some items are more £1 than others. Just made it really difficult to cash up. But it got me thinking, what with writing Imagine and marrying Yoko, when exactly did Lenin find the time to lead a communist revolution and turn of last century Russia? And what with marrying Linda and writing Live and Let Die, when exactly did McCartney find the time to lead an anti-communist witch hunt in 1950s America? Does explain some of the creativity.
I'll let into a secret. I'm a writer and a poet, actually. And as such, I'm a bit picky about the English language. A bit pedantic, if you like, yeah? In fact, I'll put my cards on the table right here, and I'll say that I believe that anyone who types into social media the words should have instead of should have both their hands cut off. Under anaesthetic, of course. I'm a grammar Nazi, not a monster. It's probably one of the reasons people tend to take an instant dislike to me, I suppose. That and the fact it saves valuable time. A fella in a local shop always calls me Peter, which is a bit weird considering my name's Jem. And it's been going on for ages, and I said to him the other day, I had to say something. I said, look, mate, I'm not being funny, but my name's Jem, not Peter. He said, no, it's short for pain in the arse. It's a mnemonic. That's what's an acronym, actually, but... there you go. I go to my local supermarket, and it really annoys me. Right, I always use the express checkout, and right behind the express checkout is the stationery department, stationery aisle, and stationery is misspelt with an A, not an E. And it gets on my nerves, so every time I go in, I point it out. Anyway, last time I went in, the girl sat on the checkout, she's looking at me and smirking, all smiling with a little name tag on. And she says, any change for you? So I just pointed right above her head and said, that should be 6 items or fewer. Anyway, I'm banned from Tesco's now, so...
And I've been single for about 2 years now. And I'm okay about it now, but when I first became single, I was not okay. I went into a blind panic, and I did what every self-respecting cat lady starter kit avoider does, and I joined Tinder. If you've never browsed Tinder before, it's a bit like ASOS, where the further down you scroll, the weirder shit gets. Like, it starts off quite civilised, yep. His face looks pretty comfy. And before you know it, you're in arseless chaps territory. That's ASOS and Tinder, by the way. Full of people going home with things that they later regret. And then thinking, fuck it, and keeping it anyway. Most of the couples in here, you see. Yeah, I was pretty nervous about joining Tinder because it's not something I'd done before. But I decided to practice what I preach. And when my daughter won't try something new, I say to her, you don't have to like it, but you do have to try it. You never know, it might become your new favourite thing. Mummy didn't used to like olives or red wine or anal. Now I fucking love them. So setting up your Tinder profile is the first step of the process, and I did what everybody does on Tinder and went with complete honesty. Yeah, because that's what everyone does. So my bio reads, Jimmy Carr with tits. So tall you'll have to go up on me. A face you either want to pick on or come on. There is no in between.
Hello, my name is Peter Gunn and I play Brian Packham in Coronation Street. Just a quick message to ask for your help. East Lancashire Hospice and St Catherine's Hospice really do need funds. They need donations, so if you can please donate, that would be a great help. So thank you for your help in advance, and take care and keep safe.
So been homeschooling the kids for the last few weeks, which has been a challenge. Started a bit later than most people because unlike most people, I waited for my DBS checks to come through, which bought me a couple of weeks grace. I don't think everyone did that, which frankly that's bad form. Took a while to lay down the ground rules. Kept finding them using the staff toilets, which is not appropriate. Although I did avoid giving detention because that felt like more of a punishment for me, really. And then it's just getting to grips with the curriculum, really. Could just about handle the maths, although it all seems to have changed. And you know, lots of stuff on there that is stuff that we never learned at school. But probably the most challenging part of it would have been sex education. Didn't really have much in the way of sex education when I was at school. I learnt most of what I know from porn. And I don't want my kids to learn sex education from porn in 2020 because it's very, very different. For example, if for any reason my lovely wife were to remarry, if we were separated, I wouldn't want my daughter Rose to think that she automatically had to sleep with her stepdad. Don't think that's a good educational piece to do. I don't want my son Fred to think that if he ever walks in on anyone having sex, that the first thing you do is strip off and join in. And I certainly don't want either of them thinking that that's how you pay for a taxi. So while I'm trying to navigate my way through that minefield, why don't you listen to my mate Jack Dorian, who's a teacher, who might have a few ideas for you.
Hiya, Jack Dorian here. I'm a teacher, and as a teacher working from home, I'm really missing school. You know, I'm missing the lessons, I'm missing the scrutiny, I'm missing the behaviour, I'm missing loads of things really. So this week I was teaching through media and video. We were teaching geography through Attenborough documentaries, teaching English through the National Theatre Live, and we're teaching sex ed through the Red Shoe Diaries and Eurotrash. We've completed that now, so we've got to go for more rigorous and challenging materials. Goody. I'm missing the scrutiny of checking up on others and others checking up on me. Now I just check on the neighbours at night through the blinds. I'm missing Ofsted as well. Funny that, you know, but I am missing Ofsted, and I'm starting to think, what would they say about my lessons, my home-taught lessons? Mr. Dorian and students made good progress in the PE lesson using Joe Wicks. This was not a good time for Mr. Dorian to do his own independent workout in his bedroom, however. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to take on the role of class clown as well, you know. Decaf tea instead of normal. Ooh, middle class. What else? Stilton instead of cheddar in my daily sandwiches. Writing racial slurs on my windows to my neighbours in Nutella. Ooh. I miss the insults. I've even had to make my own signs. Kids say the funniest things, don't they? You know, the kids say the funny. If by funniest you mean some of the most demoralising and depressing things in the world, absolutely. Things such as, sir, you should shave your beard because otherwise you look like a hairy egg. Sir, you look like the end of a hot dog. And this last one I'm not even annoyed about because it shows a great love of board games of the 80s and 90s. Richard from Guess Who has let himself go. Well, that's me done. I'm going to go and get changed now. And it's food and drink next, so we're going to try a range of foods. We're going to try Stella, we're We're going to try some red wine, some Prosecco, and we're going to accompany that with some curry and some barbecued foods as well. So thank you very much. See you later.
So we're getting towards the end of the show now, you'll be glad to know. And it was just time for a bit of a serious message really about looking after yourselves. The first thing is to remember that your physical health is important, but your mental health is also important. And don't be afraid of getting help if you need it. It's really important. Go and see your doctor or ring your doctor if you feel like you need help, and it's okay not to be okay. I had an incident about 10 years ago where I had a bit of a nervous breakdown. I was as low as I'd ever been before in my life, and I went and got help, and spoke to my GP. He prescribed me with citalopram antidepressants, and he said these will take about 6 weeks to kick in, and then you'll feel better. But in the meantime, while you're waiting for that, why don't you read this handy 72-page list of possible side effects? And I did, and I'm going to tell you now, it made it worse. It scared the shit out of me. I mean, they were all bad, but 3 of them really stuck in my memory. The first one was the increased risk of a possible desire to hurt yourself. Now, I'm no genius, but I thought these pills were meant to stop you from wanting to hurt yourself. So that really confused me. The second one was the risk of anorgasmia. Now, it has got the word orgasm in it, but it's not a good thing. I looked it up, I double checked, and it's the inability to achieve an orgasm. So just to recap, these pills might make me want to hurt myself, and if that doesn't push me over the edge, I'm never going to come again. And the final thing, and this was really the kicker, was the increased risk of long and painful erections. So the pills might make me want to hurt myself, and if that doesn't do it, then I'm never going to come again. But I am going to have a raging hard-on that's painful. I was terrified. So I spoke to my good lady wife about it, poured my heart out at length, explained everything, and within 48 hours she trebled my dose. So, but we're all right now. So, now the other thing to talk about, apart from mental health, is it's really tempting, isn't it, during a period like this to kind of just let yourself go a little bit. I'm sure most people haven't even had the iron out for the last month or so, and personal hygiene possibly taking a bit of a kicking for some people, and certainly personal grooming. Now I've sort of let the beard grow out a little bit, it's getting nice and bushy and whatever, but I just want to say something particularly to the ladies out there. When it comes to personal grooming, I wouldn't worry about it, particularly you single ladies out there. Personal grooming, don't worry about it, it's not important at the moment. And after lockdown, if you want, get yourself a chubby lover, get yourself a fat lad if you're single, because you won't have to bother then either, because let's be honest, you don't get to be morbidly obese if you're not prepared to eat the most disgusting thing on the menu. Now, while we discuss, while I let you ponder on that, just enjoy this finale, which is quite in keeping with what I've just talked about from my good friend Mr. Keith Wild.
I was chilling in my crib, texting a girl who was fine. She said, if you show me yours, I'll show you mine. I said, okay, baby. And she came round, but I felt nauseous when I went down. She's got a hairy vagina and it's coming out the side. She's got a hairy vagina and I don't know why. I shouldn't be bothered, no, I shouldn't really care, but I'm quite worried that there's animals trapped in there. She said, what's wrong, darling? I said nothing, I just feel so. She said, are you okay though? Do you still want to do it? Now I'm not superficial, it's just that I was in shock. I said, let's just cuddle, 'cause it might get tangled round my cock. She's got a hairy vagina, and it's coming out the side. She's got a hairy vagina, and I don't know why. I know it was popular in 1972, but things have changed now, and she's ginger too. Right, so here's what we're gonna do, right? So, we're gonna split the room in half, right? So, this side of the room, you're gonna sing Bush, bush, ba-da-pa-pa, right? And this side of the room, you're gonna sing ba-ba-pa-da, bush. And it's a competition, you've got to beat the other team. Are we all feeling ready? We're all gonna be feeling motherfucking ready! Alright, 1, 2, 3, over that side. Bush, bush, ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-da, bush. Bush, bush, ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-da, bush. Let me hear it. It's just as hairy on her tush. Tumbleweed blows through it when it's hush. She needs conditioner from Lush, just to sort out that big old bush. She's got a hairy vagina. Key change for ya. Coming out the side. She's got a hairy vagina, and I don't know. I sing along, kids. She's got a hairy vagina, and it's coming out the side. She's got a and I don't know, and that's right, I don't know. No, I don't know why. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a King One. Thank you tonight.
Well, I think we're just about done. Just want to say a massive thank you to everyone for watching, and to everyone who's managed to donate. Really appreciate it. If you have donated, please comment below the video just to say which charity maybe you've donated to, and if you're able to or happy to, say how much. Just so we can keep a track of how much we've made. It would be nice to know. Particularly for Tony Cartwright, who asked me to put this together. He's a legendary fundraiser, and I want to say thank you for Tony for giving me something to do and keeping me busy this last week or two. Massive thank you to all of our acts and everyone who gave us messages to put together on here. You know, it's really nice to see that people are willing to do something like that for good causes. But once again, thank you for watching. Going to leave you with some music as we finish, and well, I'm just going to have a little drink. So, cheers.
train, watching you run away. I'm running really late into the night. 12 o'clock ain't fast, how long will this last? Sorry I am late, I had too much on my plate. Think just for a minute, how could you spend time with him? Listen to his mouth and the words he hits you with. She looks twice her age, but she doesn't act the same. Twice her age, but she doesn't act the same. I'm feeling fine when I've got you on my mind. Listen to the cars go by. Shadows in the distance, they are scaring you at night. But seeing you go is such a horrid fright. Think just for a minute, how could you spend time with him? Listen to his mouth and the words he hits you with. She looks twice her age, but she doesn't act the same. Twice her age, but she doesn't act the same. When I'm low, there's always someone who's there to pick up all the pieces. And when you're tired, there's always someone, but he's not there to push you back to sleep. Think just for a minute, how could you spend time with him? Listen to his